According to the World Health Organization, injuries and violence take the lives of 4.4 million people around the world each year and constitute nearly 8% of all deaths. For people aged 5 to 29 years, 3 of the top 5 causes of death are injury-related, namely road traffic injuries, homicide, and suicide. The WHO also states that millions who suffer non-fatal injuries each year place a massive burden on national economies, costing countries billions of US dollars each year in healthcare, lost productivity, and law enforcement. According to Moses Jabaptis, Minister for Health, crime is on the government's agenda as a public health issue.
Anytime you have violent crime or accidents, road accidents, and so on, we see the pressures at the hospitals, at the emergency rooms. So we see, for example, doctors, nurses have to leave certain cases that they are caring for, patients that they are caring for, and you need more hands on deck at the emergency room. So certainly it calls for even more resources, greater resources when we see violent crime, the impacts of violent crime.
Thus far, the island has recorded 59 homicides. According to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, the constituency of Barbano has recorded a moderate number in regards to murders for the period of January to June 2024. Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, the parliamentary representative for Barbano, says that residents in her constituency are not only asking for action to be taken, but are offering support to combat crime in their communities.
Now, I believe this is the better way to go, because many times when we have criminal activities, people blame the government and they say government is not doing this and the minister is not doing that. And here the people realize that as citizens, they have a responsibility to combat crime. So we have a number of groups that have approached me as parliamentary rep, and they indicated that we need to sit down and strategize. And what is encouraging for me is that right now the Ministry of Youth and Sports have started improving the playing facilities in Barbano.
Data from the RSLPF describes the constituency of Grosley as a notable hotspot due to 20% of the murders from January to June 2024 being recorded in the constituency. The island's most recent homicide was recorded at Pigeon Point. Kenson Casimir, the Grosley MP, says he is concerned about the inability of individuals to resolve conflict without being violent. As a means of combating crime, Casimir says the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports continues to give young people opportunities through various sporting initiatives. Additionally, he says youth are given the opportunity to start and grow their businesses through the Youth Economy and MSME Loan Grant Facility. He is pleading to all organizations within society to play their part in dealing with crime.
We are also very concerned with the amount of guns and ammunition on the streets. I'm very happy that we settled in on a temporary appointment of a new commissioner of police. I think we'll all be waiting with bated breath to see what will be done in terms of dealing with crime from his sort of standpoint. But we also need all institutions to play their parts in not just being reactive but proactive.
The RSLPF reveals that from January to June 2024, murders were concentrated in the Castries region, with the surrounding communities recording the highest numbers, 11 murders, followed by Castries outlying communities with 4 and the city centre with 2. Vieux Fort is considered a notable hotspot with 8 murders. Dennery reported moderate numbers, while Richfort and Soufriere each account for only 1 murder, indicating lower incidents in these areas. During Monday's pre-cabinet press briefing, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre announced he had received a crime prevention strategy from Acting Police Commissioner Vern Gard. During a press conference last week Wednesday, Gard said he had plans to be action-driven and do his job in a very systematic and organized way. For the DBS News World, Miriam Montoot reporting.